Y'all ain't moving hard enough for me. We singing a song everybody knows. Here it is. I really love you. I really love you. Because you first loved me. I really love you. Yes, I do. One more. I really love you. Da-da-dum-dum-da-dum-dum. I really love you. Because you first loved me. I really love you. Yes, I do. Everybody say, I really. Y'all sing it. Because you. I really love you. Do it again, church. I really love you. Everybody clap your hands and sing it. Hey, because you first. I really love you. I want y'all to switch that key. Y'all ready? Now everybody clap your hands real big. Clap. Put your hands on it, everybody. Put your hands on it real big. Y'all ain't clapping in the back. I want you to do the real big clap right here. Everybody clap, clap, clap. Put your hands on it. There we go. Come on, clap your hands. Let's do it together. I really love you. I really love you. Everybody lift your voice. I really love you. Hey, because you first. I really love you. I'm going to do a verse. Clap your hands real big. Let's go. How can you love me knowing all the things I've done? And then you show me when you gave your only son. I really love you. I really love you. Yes, I do. How can you love me knowing all the things I've done? And then you show me when you gave your only son. Hey, I really love you. We back at the top. I really love you. Let's go. Feels like a summer day in here. I really. Hey, because you first. I really love you. Let me see if they sing it. Y'all sing. I really love. Let's go. Sing, church. I really love you. You better chill, man. Because. Hey, I really love you. Let's do a verse again. Clap your hands real big. Hey, how can you love me? Knowing all the things I've done. And then you show me when you gave your only son. I really love it. I really love you. Yes, I do. Say it real big. How can you love me? Knowing all the things I've done. And then you show me. When you gave your only son. Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. Knowing God. How can you? How can you? Remember a man is this. Remember a man is this. That he would lay down his life. No man take it. But God give it. How can you? Because you. I really love you. Let's do the bridge. Y'all ready? Come on. Say you are the soul. No one can. Two. Y'all ready? Oh, you breathe. Oh, yes, I love. With some wow. Yeah. With all myself. Because. Hey, I really love you. We gotta go. Oh, yes, I love.
Grace and peace, everybody. Pray all is well. We are here once again for another great uh, podcast of divine dialogues. You know, all month long has been um, uh, all on excuse me, domestic violence, all for domestic violence, and we have been laboring very hard to bring you good content and good information on domestic violence. You got Apostle Clay on the line there. She unmute her mic. She can come on in and she's gonna greet us, and we're gonna get ready to get started. We have a very, very exciting podcast for you tonight. We were over at I don't see a red flag in your contacts. We were over at a martial arts school, Shogun Karate School, that did some demonstration for us for the women to let the women know how important it is to learn certain things that can help you protect yourself along the way. So tonight we're going to play a video, not now, but a little later in the broadcast. Probably maybe around 7:15. We'll play the video, and for you to watch and see some of these demonstrations. Also, the number for Shogun Karate will be there in case people in Baltimore and Pastor Clay down at that end, she can find a place in that Tennessee area that may for the people who are watching on her side of the country over there. And we're going to ask her to kick us off and get us started with prayer. I may have to drop off. I'm working tonight. So I'm going to have to drop on and off maybe, but Apostle Claire's going to take the reins and she's going to go with the work. Apostle Claire, start off with some prayer and give us a little intro of what we'll be going to do.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back. We're going to recap tonight. We're going to give you some pointers tonight of some things that we've already discussed, and we're going to dig deep into how to protect yourself and some self-defense information. Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we just humbly come before your presence tonight, Lord. Lord, we ask that you would be in the midst of this podcast as you have already been thus far. Lord, we ask that you would touch the hearts of those that are listening, oh God, that we may bring them insight and help for the journey that they're on, the crisis they may find themselves in. It is in Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. All right. We're going to first do a little, just a recap of what we have discussed over the last 3 weeks. This is our last week for Women History Month for the month of March. We're going to recap. You know, originally we started talking about domestic abuse in the church. My husband, the pastor, beats me. What do I do next? And that was one of our topics. We talked about what does the victim look like? You know, who is this person? Who is this woman? And we dealt with some characteristics of that person based on some of our guests, you know, what their experiences was. And we identified that. We identified what a narcissist is. someone that pretty much is the one that the culprit that actually brings on the violence to the other person. We talked about fear factor, how a lot of times fear sets in when we are in those types of situations and we feel like we may not know what to do or how to get out. We talked about that. We've talked about living in a one-sided love affair. You're the only one that's still in the relationship, whether you're the man or the woman. And you're being in that relationship alone because of the love you have in your heart. And we dealt with how love covers a multitude of sins, and it truly does, in the aspect of domestic abuse. So a lot of times we love someone to the point to where we become hurt, and deal with that. So we've dealt with those things. We talked about resources, different things that you can use to protect yourself, the non-lethal items, and we gave out resources for the National Coalition, the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and the prayer line for after our podcast, if anyone desires prayer for those things. We've covered a lot of things, and we talked about how domestic abuse is really not just out in the community, not just in the world. It's in the church. We talked about how us as leaders in churches, we see and we have experienced other people and minister to other people who have lived this type of situation, being in church and domestic abuse. But we also want everyone to know, anyone that may be watching or listening, that it's not just in the church. Domestic abuse is everywhere. And we want to make sure that we're a resource for you and we can help you provide you with resources, information, hotline numbers, and prayer, or anything else that you may need while we're on this podcast, and even afterwards. We had guest speakers come on and talk to us about their experiences, seeing their parents go through this, and then having parents that never experienced it, but then they experienced it themselves. We're hoping that Joanne can join us again tonight. She was with us last week, and she shared with her experience and talked to us from her professional standpoint of how domestic abuse affects people and how she has helped be a resource for people and an advocate for that. Tonight, our biggest points, we're going to talk about domestic abuse as a whole, what it looks like. Because a lot of times we hear about the physical aspects of it, but we don't deal with the other 10 categories of the domestic abuse wheel. And we're going to touch on that a little bit tonight. We're going to talk about self-defense and protection. And we're going to talk about resources. We're going to dig off into resources again. So it's about 10 after. If you want to cue up the video at this time.
All right. We'll get the video going. I want you guys to take a minute to just kind of watch this video. And after the video, she's going to come right back and finish up with those points. But I think it's very important because the reason for the video is for you guys to really see how easy this can really be. And how there are just some plain old basic common things you have in your hands and around your house every day that can be used as methods to protect yourself. Let's take a few minutes. This is about 10 minutes long. Let's bear with it and let's watch this video. Here we go.
Women can do in a situation where they find themselves either, and as we talked about, y'all, either have to have an escape plan. We got that. But even in the escape plan, sometimes a woman has to have a method to defend herself. Even if she doesn't have any type of weapons or anything, we want to know, and I got Shogun Karate here, listen women, we talked about, once you see this demonstration, if you feel as though you want to get in a class, if you feel as though you could be in a situation, even if you are now or not, but I implore you to join Shogun Karate. Come and learn. It's not hard. These people love karate. They know it. They've been doing it for over 20, 40 years. They know it. And they will give you the confidence that you need to feel comfortable in any situation.
Without learning stances and everything else.
We don't leave without all.
For most people,
Okay, once you show the quick demonstration of some of the objects that they have in their pocket. Who has some keys? Anybody got keys? I got keys. There we go.
oh, that's a killer.
Right. All right. Let's see what y'all do. Right.
That's a killer.
I keep it ready.
So if I come up with Sensei Lisa, and I'm bullying her, I'm trying to take advantage of her, and she is defending herself. Okay?
But
So
before we get to that, one key important thing is when you know you're going to your car, don't wait till you get to your car and you fumbling through your purse trying to find your keys. I teach women to put this key in between their two fingers and just walk. So if he walks up on me, if I'm walking and he comes up on me and I know I'm by myself and he touched me, first thing I'm going to do is strike. I'm going to poke and I'm going to poke something soft. It doesn't matter what it is, something soft.
Now, can you show us how you hold the key in your hand?
I take the key and put it between my peace fingers. And I walk. Whether it's my door key, a car key, or if I'm going for a walk, just a key. And I keep it here. So if I know I'm by myself and he grabs me, I'm not going to just scream. When I turn around and scream, I'm going to scream and strike. Remember, if he can't breathe, I don't have to worry about him fighting. And if he here and I didn't have no keys and he grabbed, I would go here. Again, I'm a choker. Let me stop.
Okay.
And if he can't see, I'm going here. I'm going for the eyes. But as I go for the eyes, I'm hit him right in his mouth with my palm as I dig in his eyes. So if they can't see, you don't have to worry about it. And another key thing, everybody, like you said, we wear heels. I wear sneakers, but we wear heels. If somebody grabs me, I'm gonna grab that hand to keep them from choking me, and I'm gonna step right on his foot with my heels. I'm not gonna take them off and run. You let go a perfectly good weapon. Cell phone. Talking on the phone. The key thing is being aware of your surroundings. That's the first and foremost. When I leave the house, I look up the street and I look down the street. My grandson says, "What, you scared?" I be like, "Yep, scared I'm gonna hurt somebody." But you always want to be aware of your surroundings. The worst distraction, but a good tool for self-defense. So if somebody grabs me, if I'm walking, I'm going to take my phone, boom, and I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to keep hitting till I can just do enough to get away. We're not going to overkill because we can. We just want to do enough to get away. If you walking and somebody grabs you by the hand, anytime somebody go to reach, you automatically just throw your hands up. But if he grabbed me by the hand, I'm just going to walk in and push. I'm not going to try to muscle, and that's just basic. I'm not going to try to, just hold on. I'm not going to try to muscle. I'm going to take a deep breath and step in and push. And as I push, I'm probably going to push with the knee here. I'm just going to go here. Right to the knee. Push and run. And again, a good run be a bad stay anytime. Somebody pull out a gun or a knife. You either gonna or you not. Because like they say, if you think wrong, you think wrong. So either somebody got on a knife, I'm here. I'm here. As soon as he comes, the most important thing is to get out the way if you see him coming. Just step to the side. Here. Here. If you go here, here. You just want to hit. You just want to hit enough to make him drop that. But if I see this, I'm running. If I see this, I'm not. He say, "Oh, give me your money." You don't give it to him here. You take it off. You give him your purse and you throw it. And the minute he look in the direction that you threw your possessions, you run. He keep doing it. I think he want to stab me in real life. But the keys, especially if you got all of this, and somebody come, most people go, "Ah!" and they gonna run. You just dropped a perfectly good one. You grab this and you just start swinging. You just start swinging. It don't matter where. Swinging, you're gonna hit something. So you hit something. That's the perfect good thing to hit. But I'm going across here. I'm going across here because I want the meaty part of your body.
The eyes, the nose, the throat, soft tissue.
If you have anything
Okay,
to add,
that was very good what Sensei was saying. But the thing is, we know that there's external violence. And what we mean by that, when somebody's out in the street. Sadly to say, 75% of the violence is inside. It's with somebody you know.
Yep.
They have a movie out there called It Was Somebody They Knew. These somebodies are the people that's really going to be able to get in tight. And you have people for whatever reason, whether success or non-success, envy's the person that they're closest to. So a lot of times, that's why I say a lot of times we just have to be aware. But there's certain types of things that say that she being the female, I'm being the male. This is what some females want to do. Choke them. Woman, what are you talking about? What did I tell you? And we know that a woman can be scared, or even a man, depending, when that happens, but we have to be calm enough to use exactly what I do. So if I grab her and she know I'm strong, she already knows she got two choices, because if my hands are here, her thumbs could go here. So if you grab me, just like if I would be female, I could do this for man or woman. I'm squeezing through because she's tight. The woman ain't gonna be able to break this sometimes. But once she go in, and you see how my hands are going, it's gonna right in them eyes. They will automatically have to let me go. And the problem is, it's just getting away.
enough to get away.
Because we always say, if martial arts or self-defense is built on strength, the strongest person will win every time. We don't use strength. We use the techniques. Once again, I grab her, she can go for the eyes. Right, just dig in, push hard. There you go. Because the eyes are sensitively connected to the brain. The other thing is the fleshy part. Women have fingernails. 80% of women got fingernails.
I'm in that 20%.
Then this is what we actually teach, how to go for the fleshy parts. Arms. You don't have to be able to break bricks, but if I shove my palm into that nose, what she does, I'm holding, you shove me in the nose of that palm, it's going to do damage. That's the whole point. The man grabs, she even has to go like she's going up the steps or running up the stairs. Well, see, I'm going back.
And I'm just going to turn my body
and
as
I have
I
to
reach
let
out.
go. So basically, these are some of the basic moves. Yeah, going up the stairs, you grab him and you figure this is it. He's getting ready to draw back. And just throw the knee right there. Most people think you have to hit somewhere in the groin. You don't have to do that. That's what we teach. We teach you can hit him at the lower part of the stomach, right below the navel. You're going to get the same result. And it doesn't take a lot of energy because it's the equivalent of running up the stairs or walking down the stairs. So these are the basic things that we teach, and it's a lot more, but we couldn't do this in an evening. You couldn't do it in a session. Because first, they have to know that they already have weapons. God gave everybody a self-defense weapon. Every animal, every creature. It's just that sometimes we don't know it. But once we know it, people will look at it look like you've been doing this all your life because you know what to do. We might panic for a split second, but after everything comes back, we'll know eyes, ears, and you said it, and you said it. If you can't see, you can't fight. If you can't breathe, you can't fight. Right? And if you can't move, which is a little bit more sophisticated, because we always say, come here, Rufus, just grab me once again, just grab my hand. Most women want to tell them, just reach around for that little finger. You grab that little finger, I'm sorry, excuse me. You grab, you got it. And we show them how to grab it where it's an easy break. Put it back.
Or what we tell women is when somebody grabs you, you walk away and just brush your hair back. So you just brush your hair, and that's a run. So the arm isn't designed for this.
Right.
So all I'm doing is as I walk, as he got me, I'm not.
Come here, woman, come here.
I'm gonna go with him.
What'd I tell you?
And I'm just gonna, as I brush my hair, my elbow hits him, and it lets go, and I just keep on running. So again, we just do just enough to get away.
And for a beginner, a woman or a man that doesn't know, These are basic stunts that you can get results. You can use them right away. You can practice them. We used to get, one class, we would get the oranges and show them how to squeeze the orange, and that will resemble the eye. So they won't be afraid of it. Send them through the routine so they'll know. I know this feels squishy, but he's backing up. And that pressure on the eye will back him up. The fulcrum, you punch him with that with the fulcrum, it's going to injure him. And like you said, and like we said before, self-defense is just a means of protecting self to get away. As you develop, and if it persists, because sometimes a person might pull out a knife or a gun. A lot of violent crimes have been done with a knife or a gun, but that's another elevation. That's something where, like you say, you're bridging yourself into real training. Mm-hmm. But, you know, the basic stuff we teach is for the homebody, for the person that really don't have that time to teach. But let them know that we have basic self-defense techniques.
That's good. I mean, this is amazing, man. Listen, women, I employ women and men. Come on, Shogun, come a little closer. I want to make sure they see y'all here. Listen, this is Shogun Karate, guys. I implore all of you to, and I'm going to put the number on the screen, contact numbers and email, whatever is going to be on the screen. Even if you want some private, discreet class, they can do that for you. They will work with you. They work with your time, work with your schedule. It's time for you to become more confident. It's time for you to feel better about just being able to feel better about yourself. Very important tools that they gave us today. This is important stuff. This is really important. And I hope that somebody, that this really does help somebody really is blessed by what you just saw today. Take it to the next level. What I need you to do, and I'm asking everybody, contact Shogun Karate. Contact them, tell them you want some basic self-defense. It's karate and self-defense are two different things. You want some basic self-defense classes, all right? Listen, it's Apostle Tony Hill again here from Divine Dialogues. Man, I thank you guys for watching this. I really appreciate you. Listen, whatever you do, call Shogun Karate. Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you. All right.
That was good stuff right there.
It was great video.
Good stuff. Just regular, old, simple, plain old stuff. Y'all got it around the house for everyday use.
Exactly. A couple of things that they were saying, I know there was an echo because of the studio. One of the things that I wrote down was, she said, a good run beats a bad stay. A good run beats a bad stay. You know, take that time to get out of there. You know, once you see that opportunity to flee, take that opportunity to flee. And then the gentleman said 75% of domestic violence or any type of violence or attacks happen inside, meaning inside the home or inside of a place with somebody that you know. 9 times out of 10, whoever the predator is or the abuser, you already know them. We dealt with who is the intimate partner at our first podcast, talking about who was the intimate partner. And it's not always someone that's you're in a relationship with. You know, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be an enemy, it could be a coworker, it could be anyone that is preying on you. So make sure that you keep your surroundings. Make sure you know where your surroundings where the exits are in any place that you go into. Always look for those things. And in the comments tonight, there's been a lot of information put in there in regards to this presentation of the tools that you can use. Shogun's Karate Basic Defense class. Their phone number is in the comments tonight. If you need that, please reach out if you can't see it, and we will definitely give you that phone number again. It is on the screen at this time. If you're in the Maryland and Baltimore, Maryland area, please reach out to them. They do teach individual as well as group self-defense classes. So if you're in the area and you want to feel more confident or safe, definitely reach out to that team and they will get you the training that you need. All righty. Any comments, anything, anybody want to comment about anything that we've seen tonight in this this wonderful presentation, this video? All righty, then maybe they'll comment shortly, but we'll just keep going. And if you have a comment or a thought, please don't hesitate to put that in there, and we will deal with that. We're going to deal with continue to deal with self-defense and protection a little bit, and then we'll move on to one of our other topics. When you find yourself in a domestic abuse situation, making sure that you are protected. And a lot of times, because we know that domestic abuse or domestic violence is not always physical, you also want to protect your mental state, because the trauma that you're going through can a lot of times affect you emotionally and mentally. We did talk a little bit about mental health, making sure that you continue to keep yourself in a positive status. You know, even if you have to continue to speak positivity over yourself, you know, making sure that you stay in that positive mental space, protecting that mental space, protecting those things around you. Anything else you want to add to on the self-defense and protection, Apostle?
No, not. I mean, that's pretty much kind of like speaks for itself, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's just important for us to, just to be able to be confident about, what we're doing, how we're doing it, and it really wouldn't take much. I think that, an hour investment once a week of your time is worth it.
Yeah.
For you to feel confident about anything you want to do, and to make you more confident about, one important thing she said too is about watching your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
Always be aware of your surroundings. When you go places, walk, look and see if there are people hanging around, standing around. Anything that you see that look kind of odd, just be very, very mindful of that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And if you're in the Tennessee region, that number on the phone for confidential prayer, you can also call that number, and we will get you connected with a facility here that will that teaches self-defense classes. Okay.
Good.
All righty. Let's go to our resources. We're going to touch base on our resources again. We want to make sure that we equip you with the best that we can here during this podcast, to make sure that we have given you the tools to reach out to the necessary parties to get assistance, and also to help you in your current situation. We've talked about a lot of different resources for protecting ourselves, resources for in your local cities or your states, but also make sure that if you don't have a resource, reach out to the National Coalition or the National Domestic Abuse Hotline. They will definitely get you the resources that you need. There's a lot of places in your communities. The House of Ruth is at the facility in Maryland, Pastor.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. House of Ruth.
Yep. And then there's a lot of other facilities. A lot of them have certain names of people that they have been able to assist with. The number, the 615-979-6555, you can reach out to that number also for resources, for locations, where if you're needing to make that, you already have your exit plan and you need a place to go, reach out to that number, and we will get you to a facility in your area that we can will find for you. We do have additional resources in our cities that we can reach out to and get you the help and the assistance that you need if you find yourself in the situation, or if your exit plan is already in motion and you need that resource and you need that open door. We can definitely do that for you. Dealing with domestic abuse as a whole, a lot of times we look at the physical aspect of domestic abuse and we don't see signs. We don't see black eyes. We don't see busted lips. We don't see bloody noses. But one of the things that is so prevalent is because African Americans, mental health is a stigma to us. We have to make sure that we know that domestic abuse comes in many forms. Emotional and psychological abuse is also a part of the domestic abuse wheel. In that wheel, it talks about the different avenues of what a abuser uses to break the will of a person that they're abusing. So they try to break their mental strength, their psychological strength. So we have to make sure that in that we look at every aspect of what domestic abuse is. Actually, I went by and checked on a couple of people yesterday. Went by a beauty shop to just talk to a young lady that I minister to a lot, and there was a young man there that I ended up ministering to, and he is in an abusive relationship. We never know what a person is going through, male or
That's
female,
right.
male or
Yep.
female. And this young man was so distraught that he relocated from one state to another state for this relationship. And he's staying there because he says, I don't have any other family here. So don't look at those things. I moved, and I share with him, I moved 750 miles away from my family. But I knew that if I continued to stay, I was going to die. So I shared with the young man, just take a step, just make your exit plan, try step by step. And the same thing that we've shared here this month, I ministered to him and shared with him to follow those same plans. And a lot of times there's facilities for men, but it may not be a domestic abuse facility. You may end up having to go to a facility for some type of rehab or rehabilitation, but it will get you out of that situation. It will get you out of that situation. We've talked about creating an exit plan. And in that, I want to share in your exit plan, I know we talk about saving money, but sometimes the male dominates all the money in the house. And sometimes the woman dominates all the money in the house. You create a plan and the money will come. If you reach out to the resource, the money will come or that open door will come. Just create that plan, because sometimes you don't have $5 to call a cab, or you don't have bus money if you're going to the grocery store to not come back to that situation. But create that plan anyway. Financial aspect is one of the things on the wheel. Sexual coercion. A lot of times we're being abused sexually because of the dominancy of the one in the relationship, whether it be the man or the woman, because domestic abuse is growing day after day. We had a young lady that was supposed to come on last week and talk about resources that couldn't come on because domestic abuse is so on the rise this month here in Nashville, Tennessee, that she could not leave the facility. So it's out there. The cases are growing with young men, and definitely on college campuses. This is not a situation that affects somebody that's 30 and 40 years old. Domestic abuse is rising on college campuses. I know it is here in the Tennessee region and some of the other places in Texas that I've been to. So make sure that we are looking for the signs. We talked about this month looking for the signs and taking that next step in making sure that we notice things about people. We notice their dispositions changing, or we notice their characteristics changing, or their appearance is changing. Making sure that we're doing everything that we can to help, even if it means whispering to someone in a grocery store. And we talked about sharing love, sharing the love that we have with other people to help them to know that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. We want to make sure that we deal with every aspect of that. And sexual coercion is part of the domestic abuse wheel, but it's also a heavy hitter because a lot of times we get into relationships because they're physical. And we've talked about being just plain on here and being open so that people can really get some help. And a lot of relationships, because of the physical attraction that we have to someone, and we end up being sexually abused, sexually assaulted, and it ends up being a very bad situation of domestic abuse. We want to make sure that we aren't entering in those relationships and doing those type of those things that was going to eventually affect us. We talked about psychological, emotional, sexual coercion, financial, Those are some of the top 4 hitters, and then the physical piece. Also, blaming and stalking are two attributes of domestic abuse that's on the domestic abuse wheel that is very rarely talked about. We get blamed for every single thing that goes wrong. So don't allow those things to affect us. Excuse me. Blaming is another aspect of manipulation. We're being manipulated to feel like we've done everything wrong so that we stay. We try to make it better. We try to fix the relationship. Stalking is just as bad as anything else because it creates fear. Some of the things that we discussed also. Stalking leads to people being attacked because you begin to ignore a person. Identifying the characteristics of a narcissist and an abuser is key. We have to make sure that we understand how people, how their language is towards us, how their interaction is with us. A lot of times people can't accept the word no. So when we tell people no, that actually triggers something in them, and they continue to pursue us. They continue to stalk us. They continue to try to figure out ways that they can get to you or manipulate you. And then that takes us back to that self-defense. We've got to make sure that we're able to protect ourselves in every aspect of our surroundings, whether we're going to work, whether we're just outside taking the trash out. When you have someone that stalks you, you never know where they are. You never know what their next move is. And it's always good to make sure that we're utilizing the tools that we've been given this month and take those tools and apply them to your lives. The karate club shared with us that a lot of times when we're reacting from an attack, we have that fear. Use that adrenaline from fear to free yourself. Use that adrenaline of that fear to free yourself, from the attack that you're in at that time. I want to talk a little bit about some of the tools that they told us on the presentation: our cell phone and our keys. Two of the things that sometimes I have found myself on my phone going to my car in the morning, and it's dark. I'm leaving the house at 5:30 in the morning, and just since we've started this podcast, I've purposely put my phone in my purse so that I would not be subject to those type of things. Although I feel safe, but that doesn't mean that safety is out there. We have to make sure that we take those extra steps to make sure that we're keeping ourselves safe. Put your cell phone in your pocket, put it in your purse, as long as you have your keys or some form of tool that you can use to protect yourself. If you are walking and don't have a key, use that phone. Use that phone the way they showed us. And a lot of times we have the little things, the little tools that are on the back of the phone that where we hold our fingers. We have these little tools, use those to hold on to that phone and smack that person and use that phone as a weapon. Utilize every aspect of the things that they have shown us tonight so that we can be free and get away from someone that's attacking us or striking us. We talked about living in a one-sided love affair on last night, and we talked about the backside of the pulpit being filthy in the area of domestic abuse. When we're find ourselves in a relationship that's one-sided. One of the first things that we do, and I'm speaking of we because I've been there. I've lived in a domestic abuse situation, and I want to share some key points as a survivor to help someone that may be listening or someone that may be watching. We find ourselves in a area of our lives that we feel like that, I have to stay, or what can I do to fix this? Sometimes it can't be fixed, and we have to acknowledge that things can't be fixed in order for us to move to the next place in our lives. I see Joanne has joined us. If you're able to come on, just come on in, and we'll continue dialoguing on some of the things that we discussed last week as well. But if not, I understand. One of the things that I want to continue talking about as a survivor is the mental capacity that we begin to live in. Pastor Tony introduced me as Apostle Chandra Clay, and I wanted to share that Satan has no respect of person of what he desires to destroy. The Bible tells us that he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And in my marriage, I was still an apostle, but the will of my ex-husband was to destroy me because of what he didn't understand about me, and he was also being used of Satan. So with that, fear sets in, even though I know that God doesn't give me the spirit of fear, but the natural side of me, there were some aspects of things that I experienced that caused me to be afraid of things. I've said I moved 750 miles away. I was afraid to go down the street to Walmart. And with that, we have to realize that there's some greater things that we can do in our lives to regain who we are, to live out the aspects of the greatness of the person that we are. We don't change, our circumstances change. So the strongness that we have within us, we have to allow that strongness to manifest and come back to the surface, that we can begin to be stronger and move forward as survivors. Go on to live wonderful, productive lives in spite of what we have lived through. It doesn't define us because we're already defined. It just takes us to another level of definition in the person and the human being that God created us to be. I want to share that aspect of the mental capacity and the mental health side of domestic abuse. We are strong individuals, male and female, who come out on this side of domestic abuse, because there's so many people that don't make it to their next birthday or don't make it to the next holiday because their situations end differently than mine did. And some of the other ones that's been on with us this month have shared. I want to see if we have any questions or any comments tonight. Don't see any at this point. Let's see here. All righty. All righty. Let's see what we got here. I don't see any comments right now. I know Pastor Tony is working tonight. All right. I know that he is working with Joanne on the additional training and stuff that she does that we had talked about, so that we can continue providing those avenues for people as we continue as he continues the divine dialogues. This has been a wonderful month of Women's History Month, with us sharing about domestic abuse in the church as well as in people's everyday lives. So it's been some powerful information here. It's been some great resources that has been communicated. I hope that everyone has been able to find them a resource, find them some type of tool that they can carry on them, whether it be mace or any other type of apparatus. The bracelets that we show pictures of, get you some form of protection, because life doesn't stop. We continue to move forward, but in that we want to make sure that you have what's needed to protect you while we're going about doing our daily day-to-day life. All righty. So there's nothing coming in right now. We do have a few more moments. We'll check and see if someone is wanting to say anything or make a comment here. The video that we shared today was very, very powerful. We talked about that. If anyone in the Baltimore area is interested in self-defense courses, please contact Shogun Karate. Their phone number is 443-630-4793. It is in the comments if you're interested in going to that. That may be an awesome avenue for someone. We do have Joanne on with us tonight. Can you hear us, Joanne?
I can. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Just got home from work, so it's been a long day, but I'm doing well. Thank you.
Awesome. As you hear, I've been, recapping some of the things that we've talked about this month, and we've showed a video from Shogun Karate Club and School for self-defense. So if you want to add anything, feel free. The stage is yours.
Oh no, so I was just listening and observing. I know the hour is late and I'm just getting in, but just listen to the resources that you're offering. Sounds good. I always tell people that if we all in the age of Apple and Samsung phones, that you're able to share your location with somebody, a family or
Mm-hmm.
friends, so that someone always knows where you are. And it's not to be nosy, but that's just a safety feature that we have, that you can
Right.
share your location
Mm-hmm.
for different reasons, and making sure that you're aware of your surroundings
Yes.
and
Yes.
that you're always lights on. It's so I mean I have a greenhouse, so I come in, I tell Alexa turn the lights on, different things like that on your porch. I just said her name too, so I'm surprised she's not talking, Alexa. But yeah, just know your surroundings, making sure that people know where you are. That there are predators everywhere, and it's a shame.
Absolutely.
Video games, online dating. I mean, those things that are here, and we just need to make sure that we're careful. We don't want to live in a bubble. We don't want, as you say, want to live in a spirit of fear, but that we always, protect ourselves and our surroundings and our family and and our kids.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. 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 Yeah. And I think we touched a little bit on it. I can't remember if it was the second week or if it was last week when you were on. We talked about children in domestic abuse situations. Some of the things that with people that I've communicated with and resources and organizations, children either end up dealing with two different things. They become abusers or they become victims. They become abused as children. So definitely make sure we keep our children safe. I've come across a lot of families where the woman stayed in the marriage for the kids, but the kids end up being abused as well. So we want to make sure when we create those exit plans that we look at how it's going to benefit not only ourselves but our children, because we want them to be able to be functioning adults and not have to, as adults, heal from scars as young people. We want to make sure we do that, especially for our children, because they are our future. If we don't have them, we don't have anything. So I definitely wanted to reiterate that, and definitely take these resources, reach out Those of you that know Apostle Hill, reach out to him and get the resources that's provided. Call that 615 number on the phone, and we can definitely on this end get you any resources. If you're in this area, in the Tennessee area, we can definitely get you resources or connect you with organizations that can help you in wherever you may find yourself in your journey. So make sure, as the notes, one of the notes that she's added, as Joanna said, keep your lights on, keep your surroundings. Make sure when you click your to unlock your doors that your internal light of your car comes on. If you can set that, that way, make sure you click that. And always look in your back seat. Always look in your back seat of your vehicles to make sure that no one is there. We have people with very mischievous and manipulative minds, and we want to make sure that we're safe. And we hope that we have brought you information, resources, and a great conversation and dialogue this month for in honor of Women's History Month that will help you in your day-to-day life, help keep you safe, help keep you protected, as well as provide an avenue for you if you're in any type of domestic abuse situation. Know the signs of people that are being affected. Know the signs of those that are abusers, and take that first step of expressing love and compassion towards someone that you may know is experiencing this type of behavior in their lives. We've got about 6 more minutes. If there's any comments, if anybody has any questions that we may be able to answer for you tonight, we definitely appreciate, your coming on and dialoguing with us this month. This has been a very great month. This has been very informative with everything that has been on, all of the guests that has been on with Apostle Tony and I. Apostle Wise that was on with us, Joanne that was on with us, and we had several people that were supposed to be on, couple here and in Baltimore that are resources in facilities and organizations that couldn't because of the elevation of situations that are going on here in Nashville. We had several that couldn't come on because it's been very bad this month. So definitely keep people in your prayers and in your thoughts in this type of situation, and really in all situations. We got to make sure that we share our love and concern for people, even if we don't know them. God knows them. So we want to make sure we continue to do that. All righty. So I think Apostle Tony has had to step off. We have about 5 more minutes on this podcast. If there's anyone that would like to share anything, we have a few moments that you may do so. Again, we thank you all for joining us and participating with us and in this podcast for the last month, Divine Dialogues, dealing with divine things, of ministry and real life issues. Dealing with real life issues. They are real, and we want to make sure that we can assist you. And we hope that we have given you some information that can help you along the way.
Our best praise. Do me a favor. I told them in the 12 o'clock service.
So, all righty, we got about 4 minutes.
You're going to be sitting next to me today.
We're probably going to start.
Tell them you're going to have to come correct with my God's praise. Tell them if he wouldn't have made so many ways, I wouldn't have a problem.
Appreciate you being a part
if he wouldn't have saved my soul from a burning hell, I wouldn't have a problem. If he wouldn't have picked me up and turned me around, snatched my feet out of the muck in the mire, I wouldn't have a problem. But since he's done better, since he's been better to me than I've been to myself, then I'm going to need you to give him a high praise. Somebody take 10 seconds and show your neighbor what it looks like to give God a high praise. Go on. He's worthy of the glory and the honor. Come on, CJ. Somebody shout the highest praise. Hallelujah. I'm going to teach you a new song, spiritual. Clap your hands like this. Come on. Clap your hands, everybody. Come on. Song says, put on the whole armor of God so you'll be able to stand against the devil. Come on. And his schemes. But I can't get started until everybody's clapping right here. 1, 2, everybody clap your hands in the sanctuary. Whoa. Worthy is your name. No. Worthy is your name. Somebody bless him. Come on, give him glory. I feel Jesus. Come on, Zion. Come on, raise your praise in the room. Come on. Come on, you give him audible praise. He's worthy.